Dr. Carla Brailey. She teaches at Texas Southern University in Houston and served as the vice chair of the Texas Democratic Party. Dr. Brailey, welcome back to our program. Let's start with an obvious question a lot of people might have here. You've served as the vice chair, the second position in the Texas Democratic Party. You've run for city council there in Houston. Running for lieutenant governor seems like quite a jump considering you have never held elected office before. How did you decide on this race?
Well, Jason, for the past, 3.5 years, I've been serving as vice chair of the Texas Democratic Party. I've traveled all along this state, across this state, doing the work already. And the relationships that I have acquired through listening and working with several constituencies on the ground through grassroots leaders, this is the right time and needs the right leadership to run. And so I'm running for lieutenant governor today.
Well, running or working inside a state party is one thing, but for people who aren't Democrats, might be independents or Republicans in this state, how would you represent everyone?
Well, I actually believe that whatever we do as public servants, we represent all Texans at all times. And when we really put people at the center of policy, and we put people, right there where we're listening and to what issues that matter most to them, that's what we do. That's how you do it.
If elected, Dr. Brailey, what are your top two priorities?
Oh, wow. Our priorities really is to really serve all Texans. I mean, we're going through it, not only in the nation, but when we, primarily look at Texas. I mean, when we look at the heartbeat bill, when we look at employment, when we look at what we're going through right now in education, and particularly with COVID, is the impact that it's having, all of those issues matters to Texans. I mean, and quite frankly, Jason, we're very large in Texas. And so we have rural, we have suburban, we have urban. And at the end of the day, all of our Texans are having a number of issues. But been an educator for 20 plus years, so we know that education is certainly key. Great late Barbara Jordan once said that education is the key to economic and political empowerment. And so when you talk about two priorities, I think there are a number of priorities, but we're ready to address those matters that are most concerning to Texans across the state.
Is there anything specific though that tops that list?
Education, the power grid. I mean, those issues matter. Education, the power grid, healthcare, and not just healthcare, Jason, but affordable healthcare, accessible healthcare, and not just education, but a high quality education and high quality inclusive education where we're meeting all Texans where they are and including their various backgrounds and ways that they can see themselves and how they study. So,
well, here's the last question I have for you too. You're obviously running against a state representative who's also on our program, and then another person who's already been around the track once, Mike Collier as well. How do you plan on breaking out?
Well, Jason, this election is so much more. It's about the election, but it's really about building a movement across the state, listening to all Texans. And that's what I've been doing already for the past 3.5 years. I'm not new to Texas, and Texas is not new to me. And I'm so glad that we're joining together to make this run for lieutenant governor. It's about listening, and that's what's going to matter. And people know that I do that.
Dr. Brailey, thanks so much for the time and good luck to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Jason.